All right, welcome back. It is November, and we are talking the cone of uncertainty.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had the two.
And
Yeah.
80s. Mid-80s.
It's ridiculous.
It's summertime, it feels like right now. I'm not happy about it.
I need to talk to this Mother Nature and figure out what's going on.
Speak to her manager.
And you brought it up. You mentioned
Yeah.
that they had forecast a range of 17 to 25 total named storms.
We're
should have done the read.
I remember
16th, I think, at
Raphael,
this
so
point.
I
we're pretty
remember
close.
thinking when I heard that prediction come in, I'm like, that's a lot. But here we
Yeah.
are, already into the R name.
Yeah, we're getting to the end of the
Man.
list. Yeah, so
That's
we're,
crazy.
we're tacking it on at the end of the season too. You thought it was over. It's not over. Yeah.
I did.
Surprise.
I did.
Surprise, yeah. And unfortunately, we will be talking more rain, I think, later in the week, but I think that's the extent of our impact. It could be a lot worse. If it was 2 months ago, it would be a whole different forecast. The fact that it's November is actually a good thing. I would not panic about this. Of course, we'll watch it, make sure you stay tuned, but by the time it reaches the northern Gulf later this week, it's going to be a lot weaker. It might not even be really anything. So we'll take you through it, though, every single day. It is now a tropical depression. It is getting its act together. It's in the Caribbean. That's where it's a little bit more favorable for development, but the Gulf, not so much. More hostile in the Gulf. Good news for us. So hurricane conditions are expected for parts of Cuba getting into Wednesday. So it will be strengthening to a tropical storm today. It will stay a tropical storm through tomorrow, past nearby Jamaica as Tropical Storm Raphael, and then up to Cat 1 on Wednesday. Again, this is when it passes by western Cuba, and then it gets into the southern Gulf on Thursday, and then it will still be a Category 1, but this is when some stronger upper level winds, some drier air, and cooler ocean temperatures will have to grapple with TD 18, and this will, which will be Raphael at that point. And that is what is going to knock it down in intensity. It will be a much less intense system, probably down to a tropical storm by Friday into Saturday, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the cone. We are included in the cone, but the models are kind of everywhere because it's got those limiting factors. It's kind of a gamble about where it's going to go, but no matter what, it's going to be a lot less intense later in the week, so not a huge concern. But again, make sure you stay tuned with us every single day. We'll talk about the steering current. It's getting pushed to the northwest by this ridge of high pressure off to the northeast of it. And then as we get into later in the week, this upper low starts to cut across the country. We'll see stronger upper level winds because of that. Plus, we've got some drier air working into it, not to mention the ocean temperatures in the Gulf in the 70s. So all these things that help keep it on the low level concern, I would say. This is not a huge concern for us, but we'll be tracking it with you every single day. Also, I wanted to show you the wind shear picking up from the southwest later this week. That will really help to tear this thing apart, to tear up Raphael later this week. But I do think we're going to see some, more rain as a result of this across the Gulf Coast, some breezy weather, some rough seas later in the week. Rainfall totals for us in the New Orleans area, southeast Louisiana, South Mississippi over the next 7 days. So over the next week, we'll probably pick up around maybe an inch or so of rain, could get up to 2 inches in a few spots. So that's something we'll be expecting over the next week. Some rain and some much needed rain. We could benefit from this rain. We've been pretty dry lately, and we're going to get rain out ahead of this tropical system, not connected to it. Also, later in the week, I wanted to just show you the wind speeds here. Of course, this can change. We might not get any impacts. We might see some rain, we might get breezy, or it might completely avoid the area. It's just something that we'll have to watch. There's just a lot of uncertainty with this forecast because of those limiting factors that will help really knock it down in intensity. But plan for some breezy days getting into Friday and Saturday as the system gets closer to us. And we're already breezy now, and this has nothing to do with the tropics. So we actually have rain and breezy weather happening now, and then more later in the week. So no big changes, I would say, over the next week, despite this tropical moisture and this tropical system moving into the Gulf of Mexico later in the week. Today, plan for a couple spotty showers, more scattered rain tomorrow for Election Day. And then I have our rain chances going up for Friday and Saturday, up to 40% at most. Right now, we're dealing with a lot of cloud cover. It's warm, it's muggy, feels like summer, 84 degrees, dew points in the 70s. It is sticky outside, and it is windy. Right now, we are dealing with some scattered rain across the south shore, over the lake, and even on the north shore. So plan for some spotty showers throughout the course of your Monday, and just keep rain gear handy all this week. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid-80s. We could have breaks of sun, but clouds will be consistent through today, and then tonight, temperatures will stay warm in the 70s. And like I mentioned, it's going to be windy all day today. Those winds are coming in from the southeast, gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and that will keep the risk for minor coastal flooding until early tomorrow morning during the high tide late tonight and early tomorrow. So planning for more coastal flooding getting into early tomorrow as well. Here's that 7-day forecast. No changes, no cold fronts, warm, humid, and daily scattered showers and storms. Make sure you stay tuned though for the latest in the tropics.